we shake the town. We're racing through the fire, burning bright with the grit of the brave. We fight the night, no chains can hold us, no fear can break. We're GLR for glory's sake. We've got the scars to show where we've been, but we wear them proud like a second skin. For the fallen and the ones who rise, in the name of freedom we ride the skies. From the first green flag to the final lap, we push the limits, no turning back. With the wind at our backs and the sun in our eyes, GoatLocker Racing, we'll claim the prize. We're racing through the fire, burning bright with the grit of the brave. We fight the night, no chains can hold us, no fear can break. We're GLR for glory's sake. Our way on the edge of the wild, we won't betray. Every lap, every turn, it's do or die. With the spirit of a warrior, we reach for the sky. We're racing through the fire, burning bright with the grit of the brave. We fight the night, no chains can hold us, no fear can break. We're GLR for glory's sake. We've been, but we wear them proud like a second skin. For the fallen and the ones who rise, in the name of freedom we ride the skies. So we got the scars to show where we've been, but we wear them proud like a second skin. But we wear them proud to show where we've been, but we wear them proud the glory's sake. We're the heart of the storm where we've been, but we wear them proud like a second skin. For the fallen and the ones who rise, in the name of freedom we ride the skies. We're racing through the fire, burning bright with the grit of the brave. We fight the night, no chains can hold us, no fear can break. We're GLR for glory's sake. Yeah, for glory's sake. In the heart of the storm we find our way. On the edge of the wild we won't betray. Every lap, every turn to do or die. With the spirit of warriors, the game. In the heart of the storm we found our way. On the edge of the way, on the edge of the wild we won't betray. In the heart of the storm we find our way. On the edge of the wild we won't betray. Every lap, every turn, it's do or die. With the spirit of a warriors we reach for the sky. We're racing through the fire, burning bright with the grit of the brave. We fight the night, no chains can hold us, no fear can break. We're GLR for glory's sake. We're GLR for glory's sake. We're GLR for glory's sake. We're the outlaws on the asphalt, running wild, we'll never fall. In the shadows where the strong survive, GoatLocker Racing, we come alive. We're brothers and sisters bound by the code. In the heat of the battle, we lighten the load. From the dirt to the track, we stand our ground. With a roar like thunder, we shake the town. We're racing through the fire, burning bright with the grit of the brave. We fight the night, no chains can hold us, no fear can break. We're GLR for glory's sake. We've got the scars to show where we've been, but we wear them proud like a second skin. For the fallen and the ones who rise, in the name of freedom we ride the skies. From the first green flag to the final lap, we push the limits, no turning back. With the wind at our backs and the sun in our eyes, GoatLocker Racing, we'll claim the prize. We're racing through the fire, burning bright with the grit of the brave. We fight the night, no chains can hold us, no fear can break. We're GLR for glory's sake. We find our way. On the edge of the wild we won't betray. Every lap, every turn, it's do or die. With the spirit of a warriors we reach for the sky. We're racing through the fire, burning bright with the grit of the brave. We fight the night, no chains can hold us, no fear can break. We're GLR for glory's sake. We've been, but we wear them proud like a second skin. For the fallen and the ones who rise, in the name of freedom we ride the skies. So we got the scars to show where we've been, but we wear them proud like a second skin.
Birds fly It's a new day, it's a new life. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River runs free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new day, it's a new life.
Live from Charlotte Motor Speedway, we've got some Cruisin Classics next-gen playoff action in GoatLocker Racing. Dylan Coyle alongside Jeremy Briggs bringing you the action here in this Charlotte Motor Speedway round of 12 race. It is the second of two in the round of 12. We were at Richmond Raceway last Wednesday night. Now we're going to figure out the 4 drivers that will be eliminated from championship contention. And it's all happening here at this 1.5 mile racetrack in Concord, North Carolina. Enjoying the action so far this season, and it's going to heat up even more. Jesse Whittington won last week, and that means he has locked himself into this next round, the round of 8. We take a look at the playoff standings right now. Ryan Pendleton, a really solid run for him. He is right in behind Whittington on points, but of course, Whittington in on that win. But there's a lot of room for shakeups to happen. Everyone from the playoff field made the race last week, and only 7 points separates Lucas Lyons from Cody McElwain in this one.
Extremely close on that playoff grid. We're down to 1 point there, tied at the cutoff line. This race is going to have a lot of turmoil. These drivers got a lot on the line. This 1.5 mile, 4-turn track, very famous Charlotte Motor Speedway opened in 1960. Excited to be here once again. This is going to be a great race, Dylan.
Going to be an absolutely fantastic race right here. All the drivers have already gone through the qualifying phase, and we've now got 100 laps set and ready to go. Let's take a look at the starting grid for tonight's event. Patrick Drabick will take pole position, the Indiana driver, with a 29.729. He'll start alongside Kendorian Davis, who qualified 44 thousandths behind Drabick. Jacob Ellingson will start on third, and JJ Moore will start alongside him. George Jewell will start in the top 5. Jason Taylor on the outside of row 3. Bobby Germain and Tyler Justice 7th and 8th, while Ryan Pendleton and Lucas Lyons will round out the starting 10. Jake Collins in 11th, and Logan Sturgeon will start in P12. We continue moving down the leaderboard with Mike Kostek in 13th, Blake Edel in 14th. Jesse Nekula will start alongside Zach Engel, Cameron Wessenberg, Daniel Cunningham, Jacob Lenke, and Chris Smith, the top 20 drivers here. And those are all the drivers that set times. Timothy Williams, Timothy Stubblefield, Josh Luckenvitz, and Charles Stevens, the 24 drivers who will take part in tonight's event, and Doug Ellingson as well in 25th. You're watching it all on Maconi Entertainment. Of course, this is the Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series. Cruisin Classics has been buying and selling cars for many years. The majority were your average daily drivers, but their passion has always been in muscle cars and hot rods. So in 1996, Cruisin Classics built a 56,000 square foot showroom located in Columbus, Ohio, that they still operate out of today. All of our vehicles are handpicked and selected to ensure they fit in our inventory. That facility is now arguably one of the best stocked collections for sale in the U.S., housing hundreds of unique automobiles all under one roof. We invite you to our facility. There is something for everybody when you come to visit, and we would like to thank Cruisin Classics for being the primary partner of the Wednesday night Next Gen Series and being with GoatLocker Racing from the very beginning. 100 laps, no fast repairs, 3 extra sets of tires, and should be one stop in this race. Of course, that is if we get a caution-free race. I'm no stranger to the commentator's curse, but I do hope we get some clean racing for a long amount of time here. 100 laps, 150 miles. Round 2 of the round of 12. Who's going to move on to the round of 8? Green flag in the air. We are underway at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Barreling through turns 1 and 2 and down the backstretch. The cutoff race is underway as Drabeck gets pressure there from Kendorian Davis. Davis has to check up. He's now got pressure from Jacob Ellingson. And you've got JJ Moore right there in the 54 trying to get Moore on the outside. Oh, a little bit of contact there with Jacob Ellingson. Battling hard there for position number 4. And you got the 41 right there behind him, Jason Taylor. Looking on right, that's a top 5 battle is the 07. Our defending champion trying to repeat as a champion right there on the cutoff line, trying to get himself secured in the next round with a win here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Oh, look at that. Ellingson goes a bit high, almost got into the 54 of JJ Moore, but lap 2 is complete, and there is fierce competition at front. There is a car down through the ballpark, and that is Logan Sturgeon, who had to take evasive action. Does not appear to have any damage, but he does lose many positions.
Logan Sturgeon right there in the 26 Cruisin Classic machine. Looks like he went for a little bit of a ride there through the infield. Not sure what led him to get to the infield. We'll see if we can grab a quick replay here momentarily. Looks like everybody's straightened back out. No yellow flag as the drivers are still underway. Let's take a look at that replay.
Yeah, let's take a look at what happened there with Sturgeon alongside the 18 machine, and There is some separation between them. I wonder if Sturgeon just gets high. No, the 18 got very loosey-goosey and ran down into Sturgeon. What a solid job to just dirt track that across the infield. My goodness, that could have been bad.
Especially when that car was going up and over those, I guess you call it the Legends track here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And it can lead to some pretty hectic events. Sometimes at some tracks you might get the drivers getting flipped over in these next-gen cars. It's happened before with those cars. I believe it was Vegas, if I'm correct. I can't remember, but
yes, sir. That was Tyler Reddick in the Las Vegas playoff race in the real world of the NASCAR Cup Series that had a flip going over that jump where that Legends track is. Charlotte doesn't have that big bump that Las Vegas does have, but nonetheless, it is still a bit of a separation that can lead to interesting happenings with physics as Lucas Lyons looks around the outside of Jacob Ellingson, almost got up into the wall. That might have hurt his exit speed right there. We're right on board with Ellingson in the 27, looking from the rear. Lyons is going to get some air onto that right rear quarter panel, but has to get himself out of the throttle for a moment. On board now with Jacob Ellingson in this look right here. And look at that concentration, really trying to put all the wheel he can muster into it. It's a hard and delicate balance from trying to put all that steering input in there and trying to preserve the tires, Jeremy.
These cars are very hard to save. A little slip up, you want to be extremely steady on that wheel, because if you overcorrect it, you'll pretty much just go straight to the right, and it's not a fun feeling because you're pretty much out of control. Right now, we've got almost 10 laps in here so far. Everybody looking good. Drebeck up front, still in that Jam Printing and Promotions car that grabbed that Jam Printing Promotions pole.
Yeah, Jam Printing and Promotions, by the way. We'll talk about them a little bit later, but veteran certified company, and obviously GoatLocker Racing is a 501c3. Oh, no, hold on, we got a caution. Jacob Ellingson into the wall, two other cars hard into the outside wall trying to avoid it. Look at that. Something happened to his wheel. It popped off, and he is upset.
Oh, no. Oh, no. We'll have to get a look at the replay. Ellingson. Looks like he is done.
Yeah, that does look like a race over for Jacob Ellingson as the replay is going to show us. Oh, Lucas Lyons drifted up into him, and Ellingson did all he can to save it. Could not, though. Two more cars right in behind, hard into that outside wall to try and avoid. Wonder if they have some major damage. Goodness me, here's another angle. Lyons drifted up a little bit there.
Look, Ellingson was doing all he could to try to save that thing. Just cars all around him, nowhere to go. Do the best they can, but let's take a look from the onboard camera of the 27. His contact right there, you can see him still trying to save it. Just didn't work out.
Watch him try to do everything he can to save it. Bang.
I feel like I just said that too. If you go a little to the right too far, and I'm not sure what happened there, but
you saw midway through him trying to save it that the steering wheel just came undone. As we're now on board from Mike Kostek, and he's riding up against the inside wall. Must have been him who went into that outside wall trying to avoid, but we will have to see. That is a shame. Ellingson has not completely exited the server yet, so he still might try and get some points back. He is not in the playoff race, so it might not have any bearing on the standings, except for maybe 13th.
If you take a look at that leaderboard on the left-hand side of your screen, you see the drivers in yellow. That means that they are playoff drivers coming into this cutoff race. There's 12 of them, but 4 of them are going home, and the cutoff line is extremely close. It's going to be a nail biter. As it looks like a couple drivers. It looks like Michael Kosak's. He is out of the race.
And by the way, Patrick Drabick got the Jam Printing and Promotions Pole Award, and Jam is based out of Plainfield, Indiana. They're local, veteran certified, and when they do well, they can do more good in the community too. Since forming in 2013, Jam has contributed printing and promotional sponsorships to more than 60 local nonprofits, with a primary focus on organizations that assist veterans, women, and children. They have been with GoatLocker Racing since the very beginning and provide GLR with all promotional items, including shirts, hats, decals, dog tags, you name it. Jam is GLR's go-to promotional company. And we'd like to thank Jam Printing and Promotions for being a sponsor of GLR and the sponsor of the Jam Pole Award. And, you know, we can't have an early caution period without mentioning some of our favorite watchers, our favorite viewers. And you know who I'm talking about, Jeremy. You know.
I don't have a clue.
Come on, everyone at Nasty's Restaurant and Bar. On March 21st, 2012, Nasty's opened its door in Hilliard, Ohio. And from the get-go, we aim to embody the energy and passion of our sons, Nathan and John, and poured into their dreams. Nathan's commitment to hospitality ensured that every guest received exceptional food and service. And we'd like to thank Nasty's Restaurant and Bar for being one of the co-sponsors of the GoatLocker Racing Next Gen Series. And their support goes much further than that, as Nasty's has hosted numerous fundraisers in their establishment with the goal of raising funds to donate a sim rig to a deserving veteran or first responder. And it's at this moment that I need everyone to realize when there is a caution, you must take a sip, a drink. There has to be something. There has to be some sort of game we play.
Whether it's water or your next shot. The next yellow. You know the drill. As the drivers have been given the 1 to go signal, the pace car lights have been extinguished. The Jam Printing and Promotions 07 of Patrick Drabick trying to defend his championship, leading here early on. Looks like the top 16 cars stayed out. Behind them, cars getting damage fixed or topping off for fuel. Trying to get fuel, less fuel later on. We'll see how it plays out for them.
You know,
green.
To be a fly on the wall in that server, if there were any communications between Lucas Lyons as well as Jacob Ellingson. Obviously, Ellingson was quite upset about that contact, and right now only 21 drivers on the lead lap. 25 took the green flag. Pace car will bring it down to pit road. Patrick Drabick and Kendorian Davis will get us back to green flag racing in the restart zone. Back out in the air, and a really weird-looking restart. Davis way wide. Drabick almost looked like he spun the tires, and now Drabick's going to have to deal with Davis pushing down the inside. J.J. Moore right in line behind Davis, and they're all trying to fight for position.
Wonky start there for the 07, but wasted no time. Got a great exit off of 2. Got some separation to about 5 car lengths right now up front, but we're 3 wide for about 7th or 8th. Looks like Jake Collins was right there in the middle with Jesse Necula in the 51 there, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Blake Edel involved in that as well. Couple playoff drivers.
There was some major contact right there between Lucas Lyons and drivers in behind. They all settle it down for the moment as we're working towards lap 16 of 100 here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. 2 by 2 for second. This is exactly what Patrick Drabick wants to see as he starts to scoot away now by 0.3 of a second.
He said, y'all duke it out. I'm going to drive away into the sunset. You look further on back still. Almost 3 wide action. Further on back throughout this field. Every driver trying to get every position they can. Oh, a little contact with the wall. Well, it was a 42 of Bobby Germain there in 12th position, just outside the top 10.
All of these drivers trying to just vie for position and almost 3 wide. We might even have it. There is a quick look by Taylor. He decides that he's going to take his foot off the throttle and just get that car, turn around down the backstretch, makes a move, then dives down underneath the 23 machine of Ryan Pendleton. They'll make it work, but there was a scrape up against the outside wall there.
41 of Jason Taylor is one of those drivers on that bubble for the playoffs. We got one almost all the way up against the wall there. Right on board, you can see Jake Collins right there looking on, trying to get to Ryan Pendleton, who we're riding on board with. Trying to get everything he can to get around him. Drove it in deep, but had to check up. As you can see, the 41 to 23 Pendleton right there. Great driving here early on. They are duking it out.
Yeah, they truly, truly are duking it out right here. It's a shame that that one small slip up from Lyons potentially led to that wreck for Ellingson, but nonetheless, we continue on. Everyone is racing hard right now. I mean, one position is 1 point. You get a win as a playoff driver, it moves you into the next round. That's all some of these guys are worried about. But if we want to talk about it, drivers who are a little bit more nervy than the rest of them, I mean, Cody McGilwin, I don't even think he's in the field tonight, so he's not making it into the round of 8, which is crazy considering where he ended the regular season. Of course, Jake Collins is right now in 11th place, and Collins is currently in 6th place in the race, 11th place in the standings, 5 points back. Patrick Drabick, he's probably the driver right here that has the most to gain with a race win besides Collins, of course. Drabick, 4 points on the outside right now. This would push some drivers out. So with 15 playoff drivers, I believe, in this race, 3 of them will definitely miss out on the next round.
As we were riding on board there with the 07 of Patrick Drabeck, it looks like JJ Moore was closing in. Looks like JJ Moore is just a tad quicker, but look at the side-by-side Necula. Collins, a little bit of contact in the turn 1 and 2.
It almost looks like these drivers are being held up for a moment right here by Necula, who goes down to the inside, cannot do anything to block off Collins. George Jewell on the outside. These drivers are going for it here. The top 5 have broken away from the rest of the pack.
Single file and just pulling away up front as these drivers back here for 6th, 7th, 8th on back, just duking it out. Man, this is great battling right here. I love mile half tracks. This next gen car always proves to be really good on 1.5 mile tracks. It's unfortunate that we've lost a couple of those here recently, but as you can see tonight, the GoatLocker series, next Cruisin Classic series, doing a great job putting on some awesome racing.
Absolutely are, and as another kind of reminder, with this being that round of 12 cutoff race, 14 of the 16 playoff drivers are taking part in it. Cody McGilwin not in the race. He will not advance. Jesse Whittington taking this week off. We believe he's been given that allowance to do so. He's already got that win from last week, which will put him, of course, into the round of 8. So 11 more drivers need to confirm their spot. And coming into this one, Jason Taylor, Patrick Drabick, and Jake Collins were underneath that cut line. Well, you see where Drabick is. You see where Jason Taylor is in 3rd. And, of course, Jake Collins running in 7th. And this entire Hornets nest is right in behind. I mean, my goodness, this is crazy racing here.
As we are looking on these drivers right here, 26 laps on these tires. All these drivers are starting to maybe get a little bit of tire wear feeling, starting to get into that unbalanced feeling, and starting to get their hands full as we ride on board here with number 18 of Blake Edel, one of our playoff contenders, trying to get to that inside line. He gets so tight right there under Logan Sturgeon.
My goodness, they almost make contact on the exit of 4. This is going to give a massive run to Jesse Nekula, who goes down the inside, currently battling Edel for 9th. All of these drivers are playoff drivers, and this could, of course, have obvious championship implications by the time that this race is over.
We've said it multiple times this season that every position is 1 point and it matters. This is the part of the season where it really comes down to that. As we were tied at the cutoff line coming into tonight, we'll have to see who is going to prevail. As we look up front, got Patrick Drabeck in the 07, JJ Moore in the 54, Jason Taylor in the 41. Your top 3 kind of just a little bit on their own island right now. They've kind of pulled away just slightly from Pendleton, and then you got Lucas Lyons there, 1.2 back from the leader of the race, Patrick Drabeck.
Drabeck has not been able to pull as far away as he would have preferred when these drivers were going 2x2 on that restart. JJ Moore has kept him honest, and of course, the rest of the drivers in that top 5 have done the same. Lucas Lyons is now half a second behind Ryan Pendleton for 4th. It's starting to become a little bit of a top 4 breakaway as compared to a top 5 breakaway. Lyons kind of running his own race, and Lucas Lyons is on that cut line. It's going to come down to just margins. If Drabeck wins, he will obviously leapfrog Lyons, and without taking into anybody else's points, that would put Lyons 1 point behind Jesse Nekula for that final spot. Jason Taylor coming into this race is tied with Lyons, so Taylor's 1 spot ahead. That puts him another position up. Jay Collins is right there. So there are so many drivers that are involved in this fight. Performances right now of a driver like Daniel Cunningham could come into play, as look at this run on the 54 that Pendleton has. He had so much speed coming out of the second turn.
Got a yellow.
And now he goes side by side. Yeah, what do we have here? Oh, big caution, and it is Jesse Nekula. It's Logan Sturgeon, who did so well to avoid catastrophe earlier on, and this has those playoff implications we talked about. Man, what could have caused this? So,
I'm not sure if they're hooked going down the backstretch or something.
So what we're about to see should tell us the tale of what happened. Oh, man. Did Nekula just come down on Logan Sturgeon? I mean, they were all, you could barely fit slices of paper in between all those stock cars right there. So we'll come back to that replay segment in a little bit, because we've got pit stops. Theoretically, get this, all of these drivers should be able to make it to the checkered flag with a pit stop right now. So this could be the only pit stop they get in this race.
Right there on the edge, should be able to make it. We'll see how it plays out. They had quite the little jingle going on there coming down pit road. A couple drivers nose to tail, but I'm not sure if they got any damage from it, but it looks pretty close because they're all right there bumper to bumper. The race off of pit road, though, the 07, with that Jam Printing and Promotions pole where it's going to have pit stall number 1 and have an easy drive off.
So right now we've got the top 10 in the race. Drabeck, Moore, Pendleton, Lyons, Jewel, your top 5. Jake Collins, Kendorian Davis, Daniel Cunningham is up into 8th. He gained 10 spots right there. Wonder how exactly that happened. That was fantastic. Here's an onboard shot. Should give us the clearest point of view of what happened here, Jeremy.
As we take a look. This looks like just side drafting really aggressively, and Just no room for error, and unfortunately there was a little bit of error between both drivers. It just not enough room.
As is often the case, sometimes there's just no room to do what you want to do.
A good shot. Let's see if Necula. It didn't look like he turned, so maybe Sturgeon was just right there, just a smidgen closer. And
I think it's just hard racing.
yeah, I don't think it was anything intentional or anything. Just close racing here. Playoffs, man.
It certainly is all about the playoffs and doing what you can to move on to the next round. And unfortunately, some drivers will potentially see their playoff hopes evaporate in the night sky in Concord, North Carolina. And let's also real quick talk about Lincoln Tech. And by the way, Lincoln's mission is to provide superior education and training to our students for in-demand careers in a supportive, accessible learning environment, transforming students' lives and adding value to their communities. They're one of the largest automotive technology schools in the nation with 23 campuses and are the title sponsor of the Fall Series and a large partner of GLR. You're watching some GLR Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series action through GoatLocker Racing on Maconi Entertainment. Under caution, we'll be back.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We're back live here on Maconi Entertainment. Some Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series action. Under caution for the second time here, but we're about to go back to green flag racing. All these drivers should be able to make it to the end of this race after that pit stop happened. So will we go green for the rest of the way? Let's find out. Patrick Drabeck, he has led every single lap so far. He leads us back to racing action. A win, and he makes it to the round of 8. But in behind is Pendleton and J.J. Moore. Lucas Lyons wants a piece of the pie. He's in 4th.
This is going to be a crazy restart as J.J. Moore gets to the inside of Ryan Pendleton down the backstretch into 3 and 4. Lucas Lyons trying to sneak that 48 Jimmy Johnson lookalike into that second place battle as Jake Collins and the 81s also in this battle. Close action coming off of turn 4.
My goodness, all of these drivers doing what they can on this restart to put themselves in a good position. Look at that. Collins trying to go down the inside, but Pendleton slams the door shut, says, no, I don't think so, as everyone storms out of turn 2. Lyons and Kendorian Davis side by side. Davis on the inside in that Mobile One machine. Lyons almost gives way, but he fights back on that outside line. Davis takes it, though.
Davis with a great pass here after this restart, just a couple laps in. Looks like the 23 right now slightly holding everybody up. He's look right here at the Lucas Lyons for machine from Kendorian Davis. Now we're looking back out front You can see that battle for third place heating up between these four drivers.
What a fun battle here. All of these drivers, they're doing what they can. And we see Collins making a look down the inside. Can't do anything. Pendleton is an ultimate defensive player right here. George Jewell will slide up high, pushes tight on the exit of 2. And at this moment, look at that, a very tight swap down to the inside for Kendorian Davis. He wants to take the position away that George Jewell has in 5th. Will he be able to do that side by side? Doesn't have the momentum.
We haven't talked about it so much, but the 36 of George Jewell has been in the top 5 pretty much all night long. Kind of one of those sleepers. We haven't really talked about it, but he's doing a great job battling with these playoff drivers. It is intense.
Man, that was a very deep drive into the corner for George Jewell. Look at him. Oh, he's trying to saw on that wheel. Got a bit loose through that turns 3 and 4. Lions fighting on the outside. Look at that. Davis went down into that infield area for a brief moment. Oh, my word.
Look at this side-by-side action between Jewell and Lions. Wow, Lions with that masterful pass on the outside makes it complete. Davis now trying to set his sights there on the 36 of Jewell as the 48 now looks to get to the outside of Ryan Pendleton, really tight off of 4. He's going to make it happen. He's now even down the front stretch.
And this is so much fun. So much fun watching these drivers duke it out here. And we're not done yet. We're not even halfway through it. And this racing is intense. It's exciting. Look at that, a big attempt at a block from Davis. Taylor is going for it down the inside. Davis rides that seam around that lower middle groove. Taylor, though, takes the position away up into 7th.
Made it look extremely easy with a great drive through 3 and 4. Pendleton, Taylor, Davis. We look up front real quick. The 54 of J.J. Moore is now all over the back bumper of our leader, the 07 of Patrick Drabeck. Doing all he can right now to hold on to that lead. All Patrick needs to do right here, he just wants to win this race. That's all he needs to do to get to that next round, and that's the easiest way to secure yourself in.
Truly is the absolute easiest way to get yourself into the round of 8 is to win the race, and Drapic is doing all he can. J.J. Moore, though, is making it difficult for him. Let's talk about making it difficult for Daniel Cunningham. Blake Edel will push some air onto that left rear quarter panel. It gives a bit of tightness up to Cunningham, and now he slides back on the offense, trying to take that position back away.
Awesome.
Jacob Blenke is there too, by the way. He is trying to go for the top 10 here as well. Everyone, just Jeremy, this is great action.
I was just going to say, awesome side-by-side racing. This is GoatLocker Racing right here at its best. Patrick Drabeck, the driver, our defending champion, trying to defend it. He wants to get to that next round. Oh, a little loose right there. That's going to get a big run for J.J. Moore.
Best possible chance for J.J. Moore to take away P1. Decides against throwing it down the inside. It might help him in the long run. It might help him with a run down this dogleg front stretch. He pushed Drabeck into the corner, and that seemed to not hurt but help the 07 machine.
Or is J.J. Moore trying to save his stuff and not show his hand here early on? We're almost to halfway, so we still got over 50 laps to go.
I think you're absolutely right about that. I don't think he's trying to show everything he's got right now. I think he wants to show that he is right there, and he wants to push Drabeck as hard as possible. I mean, Jake Collins, too. He's right there. A win puts him into the next round. A win puts J.J. Moore into the next round. All of these drivers fighting for their playoff lives here. I mean, they make it out of here. They only need another 2-race performance to get into that championship finale in December.
seem to almost calm down a little bit right now.
That is a commentator's
We'll go
curse if I've ever heard.
We'll go like back here at 7th. You can see now this is where the battling is right now. We got Pendleton still holding on with Condorian Davis and Blake Edel up there at the top. Looks like we might be going 3 wide.
Boy.
No, we're not. But man, they're wicked. Man, they're so close. Look at this racing.
I mean, it's an amazing thing that these drivers haven't wrecked yet. Look at this run that Edel's going to have around the outside. Will that car get tight in the dirty air? No, it won't. He's going to have momentum to take him to the outside of Pendleton into turn 1. Could this be a 2 for 2 in 2 sets of corners, 2 positions for Edel as he's on the outside of Pendleton? This is for 7th, has the run, has the momentum, has almost cleared. He does for sure. Throws it down in front of Pendleton. Puts that front splitter into dirty air. And he'll start to run away with that position, we think. But there was a fight back, actually. Really solid job from Pendleton. And Edel was not able to get away.
Condorian Davis right there, ready to pounce. Which lane is going to give way? Looks like Pendleton's going to make that swap back, and Condorian Davis is just going to fall in behind the 18 of Blake Edel. Oh, he's going to just drive it right in there deep into 3 and 4. I can't believe he didn't catch the 18 off guard. Oh my goodness, wicked close racing. Wow.
That's just
I'm surprised there
unbelievable.
wasn't more contact in the entry to the turn.
That was just unbelievable racing right there. I mean, the fact that these drivers have not wrecked the rest of the field is amazing. They are going at it right now, and I mean that with the utmost respect. This is fun to watch, exciting to watch. Let's look back up to a Lucas Lyons, Taylor, and Jewell battle. Lyons in P4 on board with George Jewell, who has a run on Jason Taylor. Just gets into that rear bumper. Probably the smart move. You know, you were talking about it a little bit, Jeremy. You don't want to use up all the equipment right now. There is still a lot of racing action left, and if it goes green the rest of the way, they need those tires to work at the end of a fuel run.
As we're right on board here with George Jewell, that Jason Taylor, number 41 in front of him, was the fastest as it gets into the wall just a little bit. He was the fastest car the last lap before this, besides our ladder, before the leader. And he is trying to make his charge to the front. I think Jason Taylor might have something for him because he is now setting his sights on the back of the 3rd position car of Jake Collins, who's all over the back bumper of JJ Moore, who's no longer all over the back bumper of Patrick Drabeck, who has started to pull away just a little bit. He's been almost 2/10 faster every lap now. Jason Taylor was fastest that lap.
Yeah, Jason Taylor was fastest that lap. The fastest driver, though, on track for the entire race is J.J. Moore, but it doesn't matter when Jake Collins gets past him into 2nd. Collins, one of the best, highest movers in this race, plus 9 positions. He's started this race in 11th. He's now up to 2nd. There's other drivers who have had positive gains. Daniel Cunningham from 18th to 9th. Charles Stevens from 24th to 13th place. Other drivers on the opposite end. Tyler Justice has lost 11 spots. Obviously, Jacob Ellingson, 21 spots out of the race. Kostek, 12 spots out of the race. From some of the leading drivers, though, Condorian Davis, he started in P2. He is now down to 7th. So this is the pit strategy, and this is why Cunningham has been able to move up as far as he did, as quickly as he did. It seems though he pitted. That's a stroke of luck for him. He pitted on lap 10, got fresher tires, moved up through the field, and then when that next caution period came out, he went back into the pits with everybody else. He gained spots from that last restart, and put himself in a position to benefit. Now, he does have one fewer set of Goodyear tires available to him, but he shouldn't need to use 2 more sets. If anything, he just needs to make sure that he can use 1 more set. He He would hurt if there were multiple cautions in a specific subset of periods here in this last third of the race. But nonetheless, this battle has allowed Drabeck to just scoot on by. Pendleton got tight there and almost got into Taylor. I mean, it's like high-speed pace laps right here.
Jason Taylor and the untied Retinols machine trying to figure out how to get to the outside and around JJ Moore. He might be able to get this time, but as we were watching that 23 of Ryan Pendleton, he was just a little bit faster as he was trying to get past that number 54 of JJ Moore. They now both have their eyes set on the 81 of Jake Collins. As JJ Moore got extremely tight right there in that dirty air.
Oh, was there a little wiggle out of some of these? Lyons had a wiggle. He for sure had a wiggle coming out of turn 4. I mean, these drivers, they're going to just thread their tires as hard as possible. Pendleton had such a run and got tight. Was that contact with the 81? I think it was.
Oh, maybe a little bit of contact right there also on the entry to turn 3. Really hard. Side by side battling.
I know they're going for it all, but the fact that there's still 40 laps to go in this race, they already have 20-plus laps on these tires. They need to make it last as Pendleton got up into the wall. Let's take a look at something that we found with Lucas Lyons, and this wasn't exactly what I saw. Oh, he had a blink right there, came back on track. Now that blink, for anyone unaware, that's a issue with his connection to the iRacing servers. We're going to go back now to another replay of Lyons on the outside with George Jewell. Daniel Cunningham right in behind. We, unfortunately, it seems like aren't going to be able to find it, but nonetheless, Lyons had a moment. We can tell you that.
I had said earlier I thought the 41 of Jason Taylor was the fastest, but Ryan Pendleton just made the pass for second. Really easy now, setting his sights on the Patrick Drabeck. Let's see what their lap times are this time by. Even making that pass, he's still a 10th faster than our leader.
So if Ryan Pendleton, who has lost almost just over 2.5 tenths to Patrick Drabeck, you see that gap. And that's the difference over the last 2 laps. But the difference between that and laps 58 through 60, he had gained 3.5 tenths. So that's around a 10th gain over the last 5 laps. Let's see what this lap, where that difference is, if there was any gain in their times. And no, there was a major loss right there, almost 2 tenths. So if Pendleton or Drabeck, we'll see who responds. If Pendleton is able to get back moving again, get that horse running through, what you see, Jeremy?
Major block by Condorian Davis on the backstretch on Jason Taylor. I mean, they were almost down to the white line on the backstretch. It's just some hefty battling right here.
Look at this. On board with Davis here. We're looking from out back. Look at this. Steep dive into the corner by Taylor. It may have spooked Davis a bit. Taylor got back on the throttle. Davis took his foot off the throttle maybe. Mid-corner almost allowed the 41 to roll down the inside. Different lines being taken by each driver here at different parts in the circuit. Oh, Davis got very loose on the exit, and now we've got a pit stop here from the 42 machine of Bobby Germain. Okay.
We'll have to see how that's going to play out for Bobby Germain and see if that strategy with just under, what was that, 35 laps to go here.
Lucas Lyons is going into the pits right now. So Lyons, one of the top drivers in this race, has made a strategy call to bring it down pit road, and multiple drivers are doing the same. No one feels confident that they can make it the rest of the way. So will we see a point where all drivers head down pit road, or will we see differing strategies here? I think they can make it the rest of the way. So this is going to be a battle of strategy calls here.
We'll have to see if it was maybe because this driver. I personally thought they're doing these drivers right on the edge of that fuel window. So some of these drivers maybe towards the back are seeing it happen. They're like, let's just take it now because it's got a really green feel to it. This is some great racing.
Hearing that something happened on track. Oh, Lions on exit out of the pits. That is a massive loss of time. So let's look back on board. The bump, if we could roll back a bit, the bump coming out of pit exit. Look at this. Just prepare your necks right here. It is a brutal, yeah, it is a brutal pit exit here. And, it's funny seeing some of these drivers having to run around the Roval when they come out of what is now that hairpin, that new corner on the Roval. They have to deal with similar bumps. Not the same, but still, it's around that same area, and they have to deal with it, and it is uncomfortable to watch. But, okay, so what it looks like now is that we've got two strategy calls, differing strategies here. Driver like Lions. Oh, man, don't get into that rear right bumper. That could be bad. Taylor needs to take his foot off the throttle for a moment there. Almost got into the back of the 50. Will have a run down the backstretch and goes to a look down the inside. Packs air into that quarter panel and will throw it down towards that blue and white line separating the banking from the apron. And he makes the move. That was just assertive. Davis fights back. Will he have anything? Davis likes that high line. Will he be given that? He runs up to the high line. He's going to need a big run here, and he's getting a good run here.
A good run there for Kadorian Davis. Will he be able to do anything with it? But back up front for Ryan Pendleton. Start the Jaws music. That lead is now under 1 second, 0.2 faster. Almost these last few laps there for the Pendleton machine.
Yeah, look at that. Drabick is... so this gap right here, it has continued to come down. The times that we were showing with the green was Drabick's times getting better than Pendleton. What I neglected to say was that the orange times was Pendleton taking that gap and moving even closer to Patrick Drabick. So with 0.3, there we go. Pendleton, there we go. That confuses me a little bit less. He has been gaining lap after lap by at least 1.5.
Just putting these laps together right now. Drabick has got to have some very sweaty palms with that 23 now starting to barrel down his back. It is going to be a fight to the finish. We've got 26 laps to go.
26. That is it. All the drivers have seemingly made their beds. And if Pendleton, who has played a bit of a conservative game, is able... Oh, he almost scraped the wall right there. He may very well have. If he's able to make this move on Drabick, that would be impressive. Now, the other thing we don't know, has Drabick been saving? He is pushing tight. To me, that says not exactly as Pendleton. Another big run. There's no need to make a pass until the last lap if you can just hold on to your to your equipment.
The final quarter of this race is underway. We've got the cut line race just coming down to single points. These drivers up front, they just want to win their way into the next round. Drabick was one of those drivers on the outside looking in. He's doing everything he can right now to hold off this number 23 Cruisin Classics machine with his 07 Jam Printing Promotions.
My goodness, Pendleton got a bit tight in the dirty air, pushed tight coming out of 2, however, has a small, minuscule run built even more so with the slipstream. in behind Drabick. And now will he be able to get on the outside? Not yet. 22 to go.
Great, sorry, not to interrupt you there, but great execution there by Pendleton to keep that right front in that clean air.
This could be a really solid run for Pendleton right here. He went into turn 1 at a wider angle, has a massive run. He says it's time. Drabick on the outside. Pendleton, no match for the speed, takes the position, but slides way up high. He went way too deep into the corner, and now Drabick will fight back on the inside. Leading that lap, though, is Pendleton. I believe the first lap Drabick did not lead, and they go into the corner with 22 to go, side by side. Now, physics says that Pendleton should get the advantage, but up into the wall he goes! He takes the spot away, but goodness me, almost disastrous.
Absolute power move there by the 23 to just drive up there and pass that 07. He tried to make it a challenge, but Pendleton prevailed. It looked like Drabick knew that the 23 was going to drive it hard there into turns 3 and 4 and was trying to just back up his entry to get back underneath them, but unfortunately it did not work out as the 23 of Ryan Pendleton takes the lead. 20 laps to go next time by. I don't know if Drabick's going to get back to him, but plenty of time left. We'll see if it holds off.
Just so exciting, this racing.
So great.
It is genuinely fantastic.
Clean
I'm happy.
and great.
Yeah, it has genuinely been fantastic. So look at Blake Edel. This is currently a battle for 7th place. Oh, look at that, Jake Collins. Almost race over for him. He keeps it on track. He keeps it moving. I mean, he saw his playoff future flash before his very eyes, and that could have been bad. All right. Here's the other thing we got to think about. The drivers who went into the pits, what's their strategy looking like? Bobby Germain went a bit earlier than Lucas Lyons, and Germain, I think, was the first of the leaders to go down pit road. This difference, though, in speed, Lyons needs to make moves like this. It's going to be risky, but he almost has to take it 3 wide in this moment. It's scary. He makes one move. He's going to have to get by Lanky right here. I mean, I don't know if that was the right call. We've seen Lyons make some interesting strategy calls before. I always appreciate his dedication in mixing it up a little bit.
Sometimes you just got to try something different than the leaders. Maybe he knows something we don't know. Maybe he knows about that fuel. Maybe they're going to run out. With as hard as these drivers are running, he's a couple spots still away from getting that lucky dog position if a yellow to come out.
Even if he got the lucky dog, it would hurt him. You know, the strategy would not, come to full fruition. He wants this strategy to play out where it stays green until he can't gain any more with the time left in the race. He's a straightaway back from the free pass, but theoretically he should be able to gain. Speaking about gaining, Drabick is doing a solid job of not letting Ryan Pendleton get all that far away. And look at this. This is a throw down the inside. He's not going to have the run necessary here, but Pendleton does push a little bit tight, a little bit wide. Drabick is right there. I want to say that they're still playing a few games with each other, and we haven't seen everything they've got, but at the same time, this is a battle for the lead and a chance to move on to the next round.
You know, Patrick Drabick has proven me wrong when I said I don't know if he's going to get back there for the battle. Maybe he knows about the fuel situation and he started saving a little bit of fuel right here.
That is a really solid point, Jeremy. But going down the inside, he's there. He's right there. Drabick, again, trying to take that lead position away. He almost led that lap. I think it was Pendleton, but he just inches his nose ahead. He can't clear Pendleton. I think he was going to slide in front if he was able to. Pendleton, hard hit to the wall.
15 laps to go. What an absolute battle for the lead here. The first cutoff race of the playoffs for GoatLocker's Cruisin Classics Wednesday Next Gen Series here on Maconi Entertainment, and we are side by side with 14 laps to go. Playoff hopes are on the line.
I mean, you genuinely can't get something as good as this. Drabick, he's the driver who needs this win the most out of these two. Ryan Pendleton came into this race just, 2 points ahead of Logan Sturgeon for the last one to get in on points. And there is a big drive center of the corner off of it for Pendleton. It might push him tight on exit. No, they're going to still stay side by side. They cross the line, 12 laps remaining. And that car right there is the 84 of Stevens. He's got a really fast car. Don't get involved too much in this battle. What is he doing? I know he wants to get his lap back, but don't get involved this much into this leaders battle.
Side by side, lap after lap for this battle, and we've got a lap car trying to figure out if they want to get this lap back.
I mean, of course they want to get this lap back. It's just don't throw it 3 wide. I mean, I almost feel like you're going to want to ride with whatever line that the lap car goes in. It's just, oh man, it's an uncomfortable situation for all those around. You don't want to get involved in this battle for the lead. However, you definitely are this close. You're affecting the air. You're pushing Drabick just a tad. At some point, you got to make a move. He's much faster at this stage of the race.
Man, just driving it in there. Looks like Drabeck's going to get him, but the Pendleton machine tries to cross him back over. He's going to get back inside, down into 3 and 4.
What a great swap over!
Touch,
Pendleton slides up into Drabick. That lapped car, Stevens was thinking about splitting the difference. This might just let Taylor get back into the battle for the race win.
He's still 2.2 seconds back from this battle. Is almost making contact once again through turns 1 and 2. Pendleton, Drabick.
This is unbelievable racing action. I think finally we're going to see that lap car move on by the two leaders. See, side by side almost. Drabick is finally passed, and now Stevens is back on the lead lap. What a set of racing maneuvers for Patrick Drabick to get back into the lead, but Pendleton fights back. He's hitting the wall for sure. No, he stays off of it, but more lap traffic is right in behind. Scary moments for everyone involved. I mean, you don't want to get involved in the lead battle. You don't want to get caught a lap down in case there's a caution in the waiting stages of the race. 8 laps to go. Drabick and Pendleton. Is there another twist in the tail?
He's going to get right to his bumper. Pendleton right to the back bumper. Wow, Drabick with awesome car control. We have what a battle for this lead. It comes down to these final 7 laps, this time by a 100-lap event. Bobby Germain is going to try and put his name in the mix and just try to get his lap back right here as they're driving side by side. First, I would say second, but it's actually Germain trying to get his lap back. That's going to hurt Pendleton and pull him back.
It's going to massively hurt Pendleton, but look at all that speed and that momentum. Germain just riding against the wall. My goodness, he gets that spot. He unlaps himself in the most spectacular of ways. This isn't Martinsville, it's Charlotte. But he still gets it done nonetheless. Drabick coming out of 4, 6 laps to go, and he crosses the line. And right now, the gap between Taylor and Pendleton, it is still large. It is still insurmountable at this stage of the race. But again, could we get more twists in the tail? There are still cars trying to unlap themselves.
Do these leaders have enough fuel? Did the drivers that came down that are just going to lapse back know something that these drivers did not? Did they say, this is going green to the end, I'm going to need fuel? Jesse Necula in the 51 trying to get a lap back.
Necula, he wants that lap back. He's a playoff driver.
Battle him for it.
George Jewell as well. I mean, Jewell, yeah, he's not a playoff driver, but he has something to prove. He was racing in the top 5 in this race. The strategy call has not worked out well some drivers are going to see massive playoff changes and sweeping differences in the point standings. A quick look down the inside. 4 to go. Drabick, Pendleton. Great action. It's almost like we're watching a lower class battle in sports car racing with the speed difference on the cars trying to get their laps back, and the 2 leaders in this race. Taylor now 3 seconds back. It's purely a battle between the 07 and the 23 for the win in this race as we roll into 3 with 3 to go coming to the stripe.
3 laps to go. Is there enough fuel in the tanks for these leaders? We are going to find out. Patrick Drabeck has been very dominant all night, grabbing that Jam Printing and Promotions pole award. Pendleton has been extremely strong on this
Look at
run.
everyone.
Trying to get himself, he gets contact with the wall. George Jewell trying to get around him to get his lap back. Pendleton says, no, I'm going to block that.
Is that potentially the move or the moment that cost Pendleton the race win? Jewell now almost pushes Pendleton into the corner. This is the largest gap between Drabick and Pendleton since this battle commenced around 26 laps ago. We have to commend both drivers. We have to commend Patrick Drabick for fighting when we thought he didn't have any fight left in him. And now J.J. Moore has put himself in between Drabick and Pendleton for the moment. Now Moore throws himself down the inside. That might reopen the door for Pendleton to get back into the fight with Drabick. We're coming to the white flag. The next flag will be the checkered. Pendleton sees as George Jewell now puts himself between he and Drabick. And now all of a sudden Jewell has to be Pendleton's best friend to have any chance at winning this race. Jewell needs to make it uncomfortable for Drabick as they roll down the backstretch. 3/10 is the gap between the 07 and the 23. Pendleton fought for all he can, but Patrick Drabick, he won the Jam Printing and Promotions Pole Award. He'll bring the Jam Machine to victory lane. Drabick wins and puts himself into the round of 8. Wow.
Wow is right. So much to digest. Holy cow, what a run. Lots of green flag racing by these drivers tonight. This cutoff race was amazing.
Just spectacular action there. And Pendleton, is he upset with Patrick Drabick, or is he just congratulating him? It's a little nudge. Drabick's going to burn it out very quickly, we think. Oh. Yeah, that's tradition, I guess, at this point. I don't know if he was starting to try the burnout now, but nonetheless, he gets to do it any way he wants to. What a hard-fought battle. Patrick Drabick is going on to the next round, and we will be back in just a few moments on Maconi Entertainment.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
What a exhilarating race at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Patrick Drabick gets the race win. It was hard fought. It did not come without tons of pressure from the 23 of Ryan Pendleton. Let's take a look at the full race results here in this field of 25 drivers. Of course, Drabick wins it. Pendleton in second. Daniel Cunningham, where did he come from? He got into P3 by the end of this race. Just a spectacular gain of 15 spots for him. He might have saved his playoff hopes with that run. Jason Taylor, Timothy Williams, your top 5. Blake Edel, Jake Collins, Chris Smith, Zach Engel, and Charles Stevens, top 10. Bobby Germain and JJ Moore, 12 drivers on the lead lap. George Jewell, Josh Lokenvitz, Kendorian Davis, that could be disastrous for him, and Jesse Nekula, as well as Lucas Lyons. Jacob Lanke in 17th with Lyons in 18th. In 19th position is Cameron Wessenberg. Tyler Justice finishes in 20th. Sturgeon, Ellingson, Stubblefield, Ellingson, and Kostick, your 25 drivers in this field. And my word, no better time to bring in the race winner than right now. Patrick, that was some spectacular action, a spectacular race win. Are you more excited about the win or moving on to the round of 8?
I'm more excited for the win, man. I mean, it has been a tough season for me. I came into today, below the cutoff line. Just needing to have a good, solid race. I just haven't had a whole lot of them this year. To put together a race like I did tonight, man, feels incredible.
It was certainly fun to watch, and there were a few points in the middle of that long green flag run to the end that I wasn't so sure that everyone was going to have enough fuel to make it. We thought we did. We thought you guys were well within that fuel window from that second caution stop. Some drivers decided to pit. Did you ever have to worry about saving at all?
Yeah, absolutely. With about 40 to go, I was about, a half a lap to 3/4 of a lap short. Knew I had to go into some fuel saving mode. I think I had already gotten out to a 2-second lead, so I just started backing everything down, and I got it to where I was about a lap to the good. But then when I started racing, Ryan Pendleton there at the end, it kept going back and forth whether I was going to make it, I wasn't going to make it, and as I came across the start finish line and went into turn 1 after the win, she ran out of gas.
That is quite incredible. Do you feel like the difference between you winning this race and potentially not finishing in second, being out of the playoffs as a whole, was because you recognized the need to save early on in that run?
Yeah, absolutely. There was a balance, of using the tires up, but trying to maintain the lead. I came into the night wanting to get max bonus points because you get, bonus point for the pole, a bonus point for leading a lap, a bonus point for leading the most laps. We use the ARCA system. So on those couple restarts, it was all about, I used up the tires a little more than what I wanted to, and a little bit more fuel to keep the car out front so I could, max tonight out. And I guess I just did enough because, like I said, she ran out of gas in 1 and 2 on the parade lap there.
Well, Patrick, I'm going to give you the chance to give shout outs to your partners and anybody else you want to say hi to.
Yeah, huge shout out to Jam Printing and Promotions. I got them on the side of this thing. They've been huge partners of ours for years. Feels awesome to put this 07 Chevy Camaro into victory lane for them. So, and a big shout out to Doug. He is the dad of the owner of Jam Printing and Promotions. He's been going through some health issues, so a big shout out to him. But everybody that makes this thing go, Lincoln Tech for sponsoring the entire series. Hidden Wit Brewery, on Tuesday nights with the Xfinity Series. Tomorrow night is the Veterans for Life Foundation. Then we go to Friday in the Veterans for Life Racing. Sunday, InVets, the amazing nonprofit here in the state of Indiana that does amazing work with veterans all across the country. The Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs for really funding our nonprofit and allowing us to do all the things that we do. And we've got a ton of other partners as well. Cruisin Classics is phenomenal. With Nasties, we were there a couple weeks ago. Next Level Racing and all the people in Sim Motion and Taylor Kitchenette above the yellow line. Of course, all our broadcast partners as well. Maconi, awesome stuff. Love having you guys on the team this year. It's been phenomenal. Eddie over at V Speed and the guys at Nazareth 360, and then last but least, because I feel like I've been talking for 37 straight minutes, I just want to give a big shout out to my teammate, my brother for almost 30 years at this point in time, Jamie Barkis. He's going through some family stuff right now. My heart is with him and his family.
Well, Patrick, congrats on the win. We're thinking of JB as well. And hey, we'll see you in the round of 8. Patrick Drabick, what a run for him tonight. And of course, standing alongside Jeremy, you've got the runner-up and Ryan Pendleton.
We've got Ryan Pendleton, our second place finisher, led 12 laps tonight. Unfortunately, came up one position short, man. You had some wild and crazy battling just to get up to where you were, and then just to come up there and battle with Patrick there for those final 40 laps. So then the lap traffic trying to make it harder on you there. What else did you need to get there to pass Patrick and make it happen?
I needed one more lap of leading, I guess, at some point. Preferably the last one. No, that was a blast. It's been a long time since Pat and I have been up there, and we were fortunate. We built up a little bit of league, and we're teammates obviously, so we were on the radio. I'm like, hey, we got 2 seconds. We're gonna race this thing out for sure. He had led a lot of laps, so he got some bonus points and everything. We felt good about where we were at for the playoffs, so we were just like, we're gonna race this thing out. But yeah, he just got the better of me tonight. It was awesome. Had a good time. Obviously got a little busy up there around 2 laps to go with some other cars. But yeah.
Man, that was great battling. I'm pretty sure this should get you into the next round of the playoffs. What do you have to look forward to?
The week off, yeah, because I'm tearing the whole rig down and moving and everything. So just looking forward to the week off, spend some family time. But I'm not sure. I believe it's Iowa. I could be wrong. I like Iowa. I think it's a fun track. It's challenging. It's different. So once again, just hoping to have a good, solid start to that round and see where it goes.
Well, congratulations on your second place finish behind your teammate. Good luck on that move. And who do you have to thank for getting you here tonight?
Yep, everyone that supports GoatLocker Racing and all our partners. So obviously on my card tonight, I have Cruisin Classics and Nasty's, title sponsors of the Wednesday night series, Lincoln Tech and Hidden Wit Brewery. Veterans for Life Foundation, Veterans for Life Racing. I nominated Jamie Perkins as Goat of the Week on Goat Talk, so huge shout out to them. InVets, Amber, and everyone at Jam Printing and Promotions. Maconi Setup Shop, B Speed, Nazareth 360. And then once again, I say it all the time, and I know I'm a broken record, but there's so many people that help us do what we do. Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs, Alexander PCs, Sim Motion, and Next Level Racing for the equipment they help us give out. iRacing, and Above the Yellow Line, of course. And then, huge shout out to Eddie Smith this week. I know the league all loves him. He races in the league, he broadcasts, and he does Goat Talk. So he's crushing it for us. We're just happy to have him part of the Goat Locker.
Awesome stuff, Ryan. Enjoy your week off. Hopefully, we'll talk to you that week right after the week off.
Yeah, all right. Appreciate it, guys.
Yes, sir. That was Ryan Pendleton, our second place finisher. And a driver that kind of, I would say, snuck himself into a podium spot. We missed the battle there. Coming to the checker to get yourself into that podium spot. Daniel, walk us through your night. You just find yourself in a podium.
To be honest, I'm surprised I ended up there. I was telling Ryan and Patrick in the waiting room that all day today, I don't know if anybody else has experienced this or not, but all day today I've been waiting for my brain to just start doing its God-given intended function, and it just hasn't been there, and that carried over into qualifying where I just put down about the worst possible lap I could have. And then I tried to take a page out of Pat's book from last night in the Xfinity race when we had that early caution and pit for tires, hope it ran green. About the time I started picking some spots off, it's when the last caution came out. So I only had one set left in the pits that entire last run, so I was praying to the iRacing gods that we didn't have a caution there at the end, because I was going to have some decisions to make. But overall though, I'm happy to get a P3 and move on to the next round, because this is not one of my favorite tracks, and it's one that I usually tend to struggle at. So to come up there and kind of steal a good finish and have a relatively quiet night doing it, I'll take that.
Well, thank you for confirming that you are on to the next round, man. Like you said, you're on to the next round. So we got this week off. What are you looking forward to when we come back?
I'd be honest, I don't even know what tracks we run next round. Where are we at for the
I,
next
I believe
two
the next one is
races?
Iowa.
Yeah, I think we've got Iowa and Nashville Super Speedway. So I don't actually remember the last time that I ran iRacing, Nashville Super Speedway in the next gen car. So that'll be a little bit different trying to figure that out. But yeah, hopefully Iowa's a little bit easier to pass than it was like when we ran the trucks there, ran Xfinity there. So it could be a little bit of a challenge, but this series always puts on good racing, so should be something to look forward to.
And tonight was a prime example of that great racing. 18th to 3rd, Daniel Cunningham with the number 91 machine. Who do you have to thank for getting you here?
Yeah, appreciate all the admins and work that they put into the series and you guys for doing the broadcasts. And we've got our league sponsors with Lincoln Tech, Cruisin Classics, Nasty's Restaurant and Bar. I'm not sure if they're broadcasting this race tonight in the bar, but if they are, shout out to all the people watching us there. Hope we put on a good show for you. Appreciate all my teammates over at Bandits Motorsports, Ghost Energy, and SM Race Products. If you're looking for a button box, we've got a code Bandits1 to use at checkout, get you a discount.
Appreciate your time, Daniel. Daniel Cunningham, your 3rd place finisher.
Jeremy, it is high time to talk about playoff situations, and something I actually neglected to say during the race is there is some breaking news that came out of everything with the playoff cut line, and we mentioned it. We didn't have exact information, and it was actually announced within forums earlier today that because Jesse Whittington missed this race, he, even with the win last week, has given up his playoff spot. He is eliminated from the playoffs because he did not attend this race, and the rules state that you must make every single playoff race to continue to be eligible for the championship. And situations to get a waiver have to be extreme. It was deemed not to be extreme. So, with Cody McElwain also missing it, 14 drivers in this race tonight. 2 of them will join McElwain and Whittington as the eliminated drivers coming out of it. Obviously, Drabeck is in to the next round. We don't exactly have up-to-date playoff information. Nonetheless, that is massive. That changes the deal and situation before we get to Iowa in a little bit of time. Goodness me, that is some major info. We're taking next Wednesday off. It is Thanksgiving next Thursday. We will be back on December 4th with the round of 8 starting at Iowa. But Jeremy, your closing thoughts.
Man, what a great night of racing. Honestly a great way to kind of enjoy a week off is with some great racing. It makes that week off go a lot quicker. Get ready to come back for some racing and finish up these playoffs. A lot of great things happening. Some drivers finding momentum at the right times. We'll have to see if that'll translate to Iowa, and we'll see everybody in that next 2 weeks.
We absolutely will. A fantastic night of racing at Concord, North Carolina, Charlotte Motor Speedway for some Cruisin Classics, GoatLocker Racing Next Gen Series action. Patrick Drabeck wins not only the race, but also, of course, the Jam Printing and Promotions Pole Award. And what a way to show his support for the partner than winning the race and winning his partner's primary award. Lots of fun here tonight. I'm Dylan Coyle, joined alongside Jeremy Briggs. We'll see you in just a couple weeks with the next Wednesday night Cruisin Classics race. Make sure to tune in to Maconi Entertainment all throughout the week for some more GoatLocker Racing action. But for now, good night and good racing.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking. to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.